Welcome back, guys. In this video I'm gonna teach you how you can bootstrap your Angular application. Now we downloaded our libraries from angularjs.org files and we added them manually to our project, but nowadays this is not the right approach. We should be using a dependency manager. We should be using Node.js dependency manager, which is npm node package manager, or we can use Bower, or we can use John. So in this video I'm going to be teaching you how you can bootstrap and manage your dependency and actually get yourself up and running with your project. So first thing what we'll do here, we need to go to terminal. So here in WebStorm we have a built-in terminal here, but if you're using another IDE you will have a terminal there as well. Or you can just open a command prompt and just navigate to the directory of your project. Right, so here first of all I'm going to type node space v and check the version of the node. Now as you can see I have installed 8.9.0 and we need to check npm version, so npm space -v, it will give you the npm version which is installed in your PC. And now we know that we have installed Node. So one more thing, if you haven't installed Node.js in your PC, I'm just gonna quickly show you where you can go and download Node.js. So if we go to Node.js, just search on Bing or Google and it will take you nodejs.org website, and just click on that, and here we have the recommended for most users. So just click on that, it will give you a download file, and then it's just an exe file. You can just download and install that, and it will install npm as well. Right, so next thing we are going to create a package.json file. So we can use Explorer to create a new file, and then just gonna go and create a package.json file here, but there's another way you can do it. So here on the terminal, if I type npm init and press enter, and it's going to give us an error that okay, this has created a package.json file, but there's no dependency, there's no npm install packages there. So what we're going to do is we're going to type no, it's not okay. So now what we can do, first command, we'll use npm install, right? And it's going to go and grab the folder which is going to be a node module folder. Now after one, it's install npm, and then we are going to type npm init, and then it's just say that there's an error, so I'm going to press yes, and let's go and have a look the project folder. So there we go, we got our project.json file ready, actually package.json. So I'm going to double click on it. It didn't write any name or version, so I'll just manually write Angular JS project. Version we can type here 1.0.1, and I'm gonna save this file, and then if I go down I'll just say npm init again, and it's gonna give us a package name now which we wrote here, Angular JS project, and I'm gonna press enter on terminal. It says version is 1.0.1, that's fine, enter, and now it's gonna ask me to type a description, so I'll just say we are creating Angular JS project. Press enter. Endpoint index.js, let's leave it default. Test no, we don't have any Git repository. Keywords no. Author, I'll type my name. License, we say MIT, and then press enter again. And if I just go and click on package.json file, now as you can see it actually wrote description for us, a main index.js, and then we have a script, author, and license. Now I'm gonna go and install a dependency there. I'm just gonna delete this package.log.json file, we don't need that there. So here we need to have a dependency manager for offline projects. So I'm gonna go, and here there's a Bower, and we are going to look at bower.io, and this is a Bower, a package manager for the web. So this is basically is going to help you to download your dependencies and manage them for offline projects. So let's go and get that up and running. So here we will write a command npm space and install. And then we want to install Bower as a dev dependency, like development dependency. So we type --save. This flag --save will basically add that text into our package.json file. So if we just come back and just say npm install, it's going to read all the dependencies and install them automatically. And then -dev and the name of the package. So package name is Bower. Press enter. Now it's going to go to the internet and grab all the files for Bower, and we should see a Bower and a node module folder. So here inside the node module folder, we have this install Bower. And then if I go to package.json file, and I should see a dependency here. Let's just go back and then open this again, close this, right? Okay. Now we go to package.json file, and here we have a dev dependency here, and we have a Bower version 1.7, 1.8.2 installed, right? How cool is that? Easy done, right? So now we are not gonna touch npm anymore. We are gonna use a Bower now. So let's just minimize this node module folder. Now we can use Bower. So we just say Bower install --save, and then we're going to say Angular. Press enter, and it's going to go to angularjs.org file and download the dependency for us. Okay. Now we have a Bower component folder automatically created for us. If I just expand that, and here we have this dependency angular.json file. And there's another thing, it's telling me that no bower.json file to save, use Bower init to create one, right? So we'll just say Bower init, and then we are going to name is fine, description is fine, this is fine, this is fine. So everything is going to read from our package.json file. All right, so now we are going to go into our project folder, and here we'll see we have another file called bower.json. Now we have a package.json which installed Bower for us using Node Package Manager. So we installed Bower, and now Bower is going to handle all the dependencies for us. So bower.json file, we have these dependencies, we have an Angular 1.6.6 version. All right, how cool is that? Now we can install Bower. Oops, and I go to terminal. So we go Bower install --save, and then we're gonna install Angular -route. Press enter, and it's gonna go grab the Angular route as well for us. There we go. We got Angular route, same version, 1.6.6. Next, we need to install Bower --save. Actually, we can type install --save and then Bootstrap. And it's going to install two dependencies. Bootstrap is dependent on jQuery, so it's going to install both for us. Right, so here we have Bootstrap, but if we go to Bower components, we can see we have a jQuery installed as well. Alright, so now we need some kind of HTTP server. So how we can do that is by going to package.json file, and here I'm going to install npm install --save HTTP server. And it's going to go and grab that HTTP server for us. So if we look at here, we have this HTTP server. Now we have accidentally installed our HTTP server in a dependency, but we're going to install this into a dev dependency. So how do we uninstall a dependency? I did it because I wanted to show you how to uninstall, because we are learning Node.js, actually npm here as well. So we just say npm uninstall --save, and we say http -server, and it's gonna go and delete that file for us, right? And then we're gonna go to npm install --save and -dev. The -dev flag will install that dependency in the dev dependencies. All right, so here we can say http -server. Now we can see we got it back. Now we need a few scripts here. So we need to have a script to install and start our server. So here we can say that we have this Bower components, we have this node modules, but we want to have another folder here which will have our application files. So I'm going to go and create a new directory. So here we'll type app, and inside app folder I'm going to right click and create few more directories. So here we'll go and create a JS directory. We'll right click and create another directory which is going to be CSS directory. We'll create another directory, template directory, right? And then we are going to leave these folders empty for now, and we're going to install a script which will run our application from this app folder and whatever inside this. All right, so here we're going to go and grab this index.html. I'm going to take that inside app as well, and it's searching for that. I'm going to go to index.html first, and here we'll just say h1, and I'm going to say hello world. Let's save it, and now we are going to go to package.json file, and here I'm going to type a script. So add a comma here, and then the script is going to be start. We name our script start, and then the value for that is going to be http-server and then -a local host, and then -p, and then the port number. So we just say 8000 or 8000 port, and then we just say -c-1, and then we just type the folder path where our application files are. So here we'll just say ./app. All right, and then I'm gonna just save this file, and now we go and in terminal, and I'll type a command npm start, and it's gonna go and grab that, and then it's gonna start our server. So our server started on localhost 8000, and it's starting from the app folder. So I'm gonna go and open Edge, and I'll just say localhost 8000, and we should see hello world. Now if I go and just put it here, and I'm just gonna change the index file. So let's just say type this, save this, and then we go localhost again, refresh it, and there we go. And here we can see we're getting the data in our terminal as well. We're getting the request from our server, right? So now the last thing we'll do, we'll set up our Angular dependency, and then in the next video we're gonna start learning AngularJS. So we have installed our dependency through Bower. So we'll go here. First of all, we need to grab angular.js file, and then we have a route. So grab this route file and drop it here, and then we have Bootstrap. So Bootstrap need a CSS file. So we got a CSS file there, and we need to have a JS file as well for Bootstrap, and then we need a jQuery because Bootstrap is dependent on jQuery. So we'll go and grab the jQuery as well. So now I'm going to push a few things down. So we need Angular and Angular routes to go down here, and then we can have a jQuery down here as well. We're going to have a Bootstrap after jQuery, and then we're going to create another file here. So right click in the app folder, and we create a CSS file, and we just say style. Okay, so this is our own file, so we want to get that and put it in our index file as well. So let's just grab this and put it down here. So whatever the Bootstrap there, we can override it by our CSS file. And now let's have a look at this index.html file on our server. So we started our server npm start, and I'm gonna go and open that into Chrome. So I'm just gonna create a new window here, and I'm just gonna grab that window and bring it here. We'll just say localhost 8000, And now here we can see that we have a lot of errors. It says it did a request of Bower components, Bootstrap, this CSS, bootstrap.css file. So if we go to developer tools, and here we will see on the console, we have a lot of errors. We say fail to load resource, the server responses with the status of 4 of 4. So if I refresh it, it's gonna just say there is no file available on Bower components Bootstrap. The reason why is because remember, if we go back to package.json file, we started our HTTP server from .-app. So we are starting our server from here. So outside this app server, outside this app directory, our server doesn't know anything. It doesn't know about any files. So what we need to do here is we actually need to grab this Bower component and push that into our app folder, or we can start building our application outside this app folder. So if I go here and if I just say, okay, well, we just change the path, so I'll just save it. I'm gonna go down here, I'm gonna press Control C to stop the server. I'm gonna type a command again, npm start, and then start our server now. And then if I go to Chrome this time and I refresh the page, and this time it's fine because it has an index file and it has a Bower component file, node modules, it's everything is there. But we don't want to do it because we actually want to have an app folder. So we just have to start a server for specific files which we need. So we'll just go back into our app here. Let's save it. I'm gonna go and stop the server by pressing Control C on the terminal. Now we are going to grab this and push this here. Alright, I'm gonna press OK. It's gonna take a bit of time to read where it was used because it's gonna go to index.html file, and you will notice that it will automatically adjust. This is a feature of WebStorm. You probably have to do it manually in other IDE, for example Visual Studio Code or even Atom or Sublime Text. You will have to do it manually. But WebStorm is pretty smart, pretty great for web development. It's one of the best. So yeah, I love it and I use it all the time. So now we go back to index.html, and here we can see those dots are gone. So it automatically adjusted all of our dependency in our index.html file. Now we got our Bower component inside our app folder. Now it should work fine. So if I go npm start again, and we'll go have a look at our local host, I'm gonna refresh the page, and there you go. So it's getting all the resources. So we have a Bower components, and we have Angular, Road, Bootstrap, Distribute, everything is there, right? So here it needed this jQuery.json file, so it is there. So it will only upload the file to the server which are required to run the application. So how cool is that? Now I'm gonna close, or actually minimize this. Now there's another problem now we're facing. I'm gonna stop the server by pressing Control C. Now the problem is if I go and install, let's just say if I go and install another Bower component, it doesn't know that where is the Bower component folder. It's inside the app folder. We need to tell the Bower that, okay, we moved our Bower underscore component folder inside our app folder. So how do we do that? We need to create a file, a special configuration file. So we go right click and we'll just create a JSON file. Actually, sorry, my bad. We get just to create a file, and we'll just name it .bower rc. Press enter, and we have this file here, right? Now here we want to type something called a directory. I hope I spelled it right. So directory, and then here we want to type the path of our directory. So here now we have this app dash Bower underscore components. I'm gonna save the file, and now if I try installing any other component in Bower, it should be fine. let's run a command bower install. It's gonna go and grab all the dependency, and here we have bower components, and here we have Angular animate. All right, now if I just go and delete this, right, and I'm gonna just delete everything here. Let's save this file, and then here we'll go back to bower.json file. I'm just going to get rid of this Angular animate, and we need to get rid of this comma as well. Let's save it, and I'm gonna type bower install, because we don't have that configuration file now. Now here, as you can see, it actually created another folder and actually went to this file and just installed the modules again, right? So here, this is the problem we're having. It doesn't know where to install it. So for that, we're just gonna go undo here. Actually, we just change this to back to app/bower_components, and now here we can delete this folder. And then, because we have this configuration file .bower.rc, now it's gonna go and install bower dependency on the right spot. So here we need to install animate. So we'll go to bower, and I'm gonna type, let's just say Angular-animate, and Bootstrap is pretty advanced. It's gonna give us the version of that. So what's the version available? There's no version available, so instead of that we can just install by using a terminal. So we'll just go bower install --save, and we will just say Angular animate. Oops, I wrote it wrong. Now it's giving us a problem. Now it's gonna just go and install the Angular, which is not right, which we don't want it. We already have that. So additional error details, yep, it should give us an error. So here we have to type Angular-animate, and now it should go and install dependency of Angular animate here. Right, so it should be there. Now I'm gonna go close some files, and we have properly set up our bower component, and then it actually did install that. All right, cool. So we just close this, and I'm gonna go bower install again, and it's gonna make sure that it install everything. Let's just synchronize bower components, and we should see soon. It's just taking a bit of time. Here we have Angular animate there, and there you go, we got the animate there folder as well. So now we can grab that and push it in here as well. So now I'm gonna just type h1, and I'm just going to use the CSS class to make sure that we are getting all the dependencies there. So we're gonna use the Bootstrap class. So I'll just say class, and I'm gonna type here label, and we just say yep, label from there, and then label dash danger, and then just type hello world, save it, and then we start our server. So npm start, and then we're gonna look at this file into the Chrome browser. So I'll just go localhost 8000, and there we go, we got the Bootstrap applied on it. All right, so our project is set up. I've shown you how to use bower, how to use npm, and it's pretty cool. It's a dependency manager, so we're gonna be using this to install the dependencies. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.